Well, numerous trade unions will be picketing today after wage negotiations with government have collapsed. A conciliation hearing is expected to take place at the Public Service Coordinating Bargaining Council. It's in a bid to avert the strike. While union members have rejected a 3% salary increase. Let's find out, if possible, how we move this forward. President of Nursing Union Denosa, Simon Hlungwani, joining us this morning. Hello to you, Simon. Good to have you on eNCA. It seems to me that government in every negotiation right now is coming back with the standard 3%. Tell me, how unacceptable is that to your union and your members? Good morning.
Good morning to you and good morning to the viewers. Believe you me, even if there is serious blackout stage 8 or whatsoever, we are resolute. We are going to the conciliation today, and at all costs, we are going to be picketing, and we're inviting government to come to the party and try and avert the strike, because the only recourse through a dispute of interest like this one, the recourse is that we would be given a certificate to strike by a conciliator. So we're inviting the employer to come to the party and come to talk in good faith and avert any adverse effects that may happen due to this particular dispute that we have lodged. Because you know that the employer has gone all out talking about the 3% and all they did. The only thing they have not done so far is to come back to the PSCBC and talk to us. So today is their last opportunity between today and tomorrow to make sure that at least they avert anything that may be adversely affecting the entire nation.
I want to talk about what could affect the entire nation adversely in a moment, Simon. But before I get there, just talk numbers to me. What is the demand and how did you reach that number?
Well, we started with a 10% demand in May when we started, and the employer started with a 0%. When we came out of that, we moved until the employer had 1.5%. When we initially then had a stalemate, through which we agreed with the employer to go to facilitation, where a conciliator was requested to come and facilitate dialogue and try to see if we can find each other, until the employer moved to 2% and ultimately to 3%. Things changed when at 3%, the employer said it was the last offer. So then there was a draft resolution which was circulated for 21 days. And according to the constitution of the council, after 21 days, parties must come to the table. Either parties can sign the resolution. When it receives 50% of the majority of the unions, then it becomes what we call a resolution that is binding to all parties. However, in this regard, if the parties are not agreeing or signing, they have to state their position within council, which is what we did. And by the time we did, we found that majority of unions or members have rejected the 3% wage offer. As a result, then the employer was faced with two options. One was that they can have an option of choosing to reopen negotiations, or the second option, or which it was also for them to say the resolution can, or the draft resolution can fall away. The employer chose the easy way out, which was that the resolution must, the draft resolution must fall away, which then meant that the employer is going back to its initial offer of 0%,
Sure.
which then meant for us that we have no choice but to also go back to our 10% demand. That's where we are, and we hope that conciliation can assist them to come to the party, and maybe we resolve this matter amicably.
Yeah, Simon, as so many people will say, that the moment you start negotiating from zero, you're not negotiating, you are dictating. Just a last question to you, Simon, before I let you go. Help me understand how damaging this is going to be for the sector. Talk to me about your union members. How is this going to affect healthcare, and how long do you foresee this going if you are not able to get back to the negotiating table? How damaging is this for the health sector?
Well, it is our wish that we don't get there. However, it will depend on the attitude of the employer. If it comes to the interruption of services, should we go to strike, it is going to be dire, because you would know that the majority of the population depends within the health sector on the public sector for health services. There's many people who receive chronic medication, who goes to checkups on daily basis in public hospitals and clinics. And if should there be any strike or any interruption of services, it means there will be serious consequences in terms of those who will be seeking healthcare, and they may not be able to access entirely the healthcare services within the country. So it would mean that you would start from probably in public service, where there's security guards, clerks, and nurses in terms of the minimum service agreements and so on and so on. So entirely it would interrupt severely. And if you go to clinics and hospitals, you would see that there's a lot more people that are seeking those services on daily basis. But it will be for a good cause, because we will be calling for the employer to employ more nurses, to employ more teachers, to employ more police, to make sure that the public service is able to render better services even for the future. So that is what is at stake at the current moment.